Hey there, my name is Pravus, welcome back to more Hearts of Iron 4. No step back, now playing as the provisional Russian government in our effort to get the Romanovs' last laugh achievement. We did manage to win our civil war against the Soviets. Now we are dealing with a couple of little upstart nations that thought that maybe they could get their independence during that whole affair, but they were wrong! Weren't they? Apparently we have a handful of troops that are ready to be deployed that the Soviets were working on. I'm not going to really bother finishing those up because I don't really have much in the way of equipment. In fact, we have a pretty serious deficit and it's about to get a heck of a lot worse. We do need to reorganize a handful of my factories, and something that's going to be really important to me is, one, getting our infantry equipment back up, two, support equipment, because I'm pretty sure almost none of our troops have engineering companies or anything like that. We're going to need that, plus a load of artillery, then fighters, then a whole bunch of other stuff. So we're gonna be in an interesting spot. By the way, I realized I never actually did, reassign my naval dockyards like a scrub, so we probably should go ahead and fix some of those up, but that'll be fine. In the meantime, let's go ahead and reorganize the forces. They are already all on their way. We have some political power to work with, and I guess I'm going to go ahead and get that conscription law because we're going to have manpower issues pretty soon for sure. That's going to be a thing, but here we go. Communist China joins the European Syndicate. That'll be fun. The communist regime has fallen. Our victorious troops control the capital. The people are free from the red tyranny at last. A new Russia shall rise from the devastation caused by 2 civil wars and years of misrule in between. So what's this faction here? European Syndicate is Xinjiang and Communist China and nobody in Europe, but it's called the European Syndicate? That's weird. Comintern doesn't exist, by the way. I have single-handedly destroyed the main communist faction, so that's gonna be a fun change of the game. Yeah, all right. So there's the end of the Russian Civil War. Let's go ahead and get all of our troops in position, get ready to go ahead and just murder these guys. It should be relatively easy. We are rehabilitating the military right now. There are at least a couple more political focuses I need to work on sooner rather than later. And then there are going to end up being a couple of industrial focuses that I'll need to get pretty soon. I mean, we need to start working down the 5-year plan and start getting a lot of this stuff. Although it looks like it's been renamed. You actually abolished the 5-year plan and now have the National Industrialization Project. That's kind of cool. Regardless, though, we're going to need to start working down some of this stuff because a lot of it gets locked out once you're at war. With like Germany and other major powers, and obviously I don't want to have to deal with that, not at all. Let's see, troops are getting in position. Capital of the provisional Russian government. Doesn't really matter because once you go for the Tsar, you're going to be relocating the capital anyway. So we'll leave it as Moscow for now, just because that's where most of our supply, like, infrastructure is located, and I think that's going to have to be good enough. In the meantime, if you guys see an opportunity to get in here and start taking stuff, go for it. The Kingdom of Greece did what now? Pardonnez-moi? Okay. Greece apparently has gone for the monarchist route and has decided to attack Albania and Italy. This is on historical focus, right? I'm pretty sure it is. Everything else has made sense up to this point, but all of a sudden I'm feeling like a little confuzzed. Okay, well, we need to go for something called consolidate power. This is going to get rid of most communism in the country as well as get me weekly stability for a whole year. We need that. We need that badly. I need stability. Hey, can you guys just go ahead and make a push up this way, and then can you grab this, and you go along this way, and this should more or less finish this nonsense off. Boop-a-doop-a-doop. There we go. Okay, and you are gonna go down this way, and you're gonna go over this way, and you're gonna go over this way, and then I don't really care about most of my other units. Just freaking take the victory points and be done with this nonsense, please and thank you. You get down over here and grab that victory point. Cool. You guys are just going to push up along like this. Except for some of you who are going to push along like this. Granted, we are looking at mountains, which is not a good place to be fighting, generally speaking, with tanks. But if we're quick, hopefully the attrition doesn't get me killed. Hopefully. I'm actually expecting this to be a horrible mistake, but whatever. We'll get this all under control. I just need to be done with this war. I need to be done with the war, get the stability back up, start making my country great again, you know? Whoop. All right, there goes one of them. Dagestan is gone. Bye. We'll go ahead and take all your states. Enjoy that sweet, sweet oil. By the way, how are we looking as far as... Okay, there goes the next one. Hang on. Doop, 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 doop. We're going to take all your states as well, and you're done. Pause. All right, how are we doing as far as occupied? Oh my god! Ah! Whoa! Frickin' heck! Okay, Soviets did not even think to possibly put down the Romanians or the Turks. Okay, Do we have a military police division? We lost our KBD guys. These guys, however, are still cavalry, so we're good on that front. Yeah, we need to swap these to a better template that is more military police focused, thank you. Though we're gonna be a bit low on support equipment for that, but oh well. How are we doing logistically, by the way? There's the minus 50,000. I knew once the game recalculated that we had just taken over... Oh, there's Ansus. The moment we had taken over all of the former Soviet troops, it was gonna be all like, yeah, by the way, you don't have any equipment anymore. Italy joins the Axis. Italy joins the Axis. Does this mean that Greece... game! Does this mean that Greece is now actually gonna be fighting the Germans? I can't imagine they'd call the Germans in. If I were Italy, I wouldn't. Be like, why share war score? I don't need to. This is easy mode. De-Stalinization. I like that. The Bolsheviks tried to change the state religion to communism and created a personal cult around its leaders. That apostrophe does not belong there. I know it seems like it does, but it doesn't. They even went so far as to rename the cities of Russia. Order must be restored around the empire, and nowhere is more fitting than with the old city of Tsaritsyn, renamed Stalingrad. I don't know what Volgograd means. Tsaritsyn sounds like it's supposed to be bringing glory to the Tsars, so maybe this is a fascist, this is non-aligned? I don't know. I don't know if it makes a difference. We're just gonna go ahead and rename all the cities and stuff, though. Why not? Let's make them into what they're supposed to be. All right, these guys should go away as soon as we get into the next capital state. You guys go down here. You guys go down here. If they don't have much in the way of victory points, then you usually just need to take, like, all the land. Just take whatever you can get your hands on and you're fine. And there goes Greece. Greece successfully annexed Albania. What? They're still at war with Italy, so they're gonna die, but, what is going on in this game? Something weird is happening here, and I don't know what it is, and I don't think I appreciate it. All right. Well, let's just go ahead and take this little bit of territory. These guys should die at the end of the day, right? And they're not dead yet. Why aren't they dead? You're supposed to be dead! Emperor's New Groove reference for those who don't know. There they go. There goes Kyrgyzstan. All right, thank you. Take all states. It's only worth literally 1 point. That's hilarious, and we're done. Okay. Let's see. It is 1938, only March. We ended this war at a pretty reasonable time, if I'm being honest. We made pretty good progress here. I don't think I'm going to research the anti-tank, because I just don't think I'm going to end up having the industry to support that. I'll go for the anti-air instead. We could go for the radar. I think instead I'll go for resource gain efficiency, because I would love nothing better than to start getting a lot of my factories via trade and stuff. And by the way, we do need to set up a bunch of civilian factories for construction, at least until about early 1939. I'm thinking maybe about April 1939 is when we probably need to start focusing exclusively on a swap over to a militarized economy. Why are you guys still taking a lot of attrition? You should not be. Tell you what, I will extend the fallback line to be something like this, I guess. Our industry, our logistics appear to be struggling in a few places. Tell you what, let's go ahead and swap these guys to motorized, so we are more likely to get supply delivered, and then they're fine. All right, so we got to consolidate power. Now we get some weekly stability. That's going to go for a long time. We go for rebuild the nation next, which is going to let me get factory repair speed. So all those factories we blew up will start getting fixed up a lot faster, not to mention we're going to enjoy a bit of extra consumer goods reduction, which means more civilian factories for me. I am, at this point, I think, kind of just desperately looking for any sort of industrial boosts that will keep me a freaking alive. That's all that I care about. We're going to move the units just in a few different places, just get them out of the mountains, get them out of places that are costing me a lot of supply. There's no good reason for any of that. We need to be building up the trucks, the infantry equipment, the light tanks, the everything. Everything is lacking right now. We also will need to consider changing up some templates in the near-ish future. Our basic infantry are 18 combat width right now and only have support artillery. We don't even have engineers and nowhere near enough equipment in order to field any of this. That's going to be very important for me at some point. Also, I wouldn't mind swapping some of these over to being 27 combat width, which is apparently becoming more and more the meta so far, I guess, for the game. By the way, let's stop importing any of our oil. We don't need to be wasting the factories on that. But yeah, the meta is shifting. There was a post on Reddit. Somebody, like, basically calculated every different terrain in the game and the odds of running into that terrain and then which templates perform the best in most situations. And there are a few that kind of stuck out. 10 combat width, 15 combat width, 18 combat width, 27, and then anything from 41 to 45 actually performs surprisingly pretty well. 27, I think, is going to end up becoming the favorite for most people, but we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. You guys no longer need to be doing any missions. Please stop wasting all my fuel. Go somewhere else. Do something else. I don't really care. We'll have to reorganize the Navy at some point, but we got time before I have to worry about that. Is there anything I'd like to get as far as a theorist? I'd love to get this guy. I don't know why he's crossed off, because as far as I'm aware, he still exists. Is it you? Yeah, this is the theorist guy. This guy could be... He's already an advisor. Yeah, he is, but I can't hire him for some reason. I think there might be a bug or something, because it usually will tell you a reason why you can't pick someone up, and this is still a thing. I also noticed this with the high command. This guy, I see no reason why we can't pick him up. As far as I know, he didn't get purged by Stalin. I still have access to him right now. But for some reason, I can't hire him. I don't know why. Since I can't get anybody else, I'm going to go ahead and pick up a guy who would get me some army experience. I mean, I don't have anyone great, at least until some of these field marshals or somebody gets to level 4. He's only level 2. So we didn't get anywhere near enough experience on these guys to actually turn them into some officer corps, which means I can't get anyone much better. So I'm just going to go ahead and start picking up the army experience while I freaking can, because it's literally the best I can do. There's the rebuild the nation focus. Now we can go for restore the glory of the motherland, which will get me some construction speed, so I can try to build up my industry even faster. Again, I'm just terrified of our current economic situation more than anything else. Our economy is basically now just weaker than the USSR. I mean, we won, but it might be a Pyrrhic victory against the Germans if it turns out that we've got no industry left. The USSR would have been in a better position. Let's go ahead and take at least a few of these planes and just start doing some drills, because I don't really see any reason why not to do that. Let's just go ahead and start farming out a tiny bit of air experience. I think the risk of accident is pretty darn low, and yeah, it uses some fuel, but like, whatever, we're full right now. So we'll just do some drills, try getting a tiny bit of extra pilot exercises done. I don't really care. Anything is good at this point. Once we're done with Restore the Motherland, we have to go back over here to the right, and we'll be able to work to the Declaration, which is going to get me some of the better advisors available. Most of these guys are locked out until we get some of these focuses. Some of them are dependent on the return of the Tsar, and most of them, like half of them, are actually all religious, patriarchal advisors for the Eastern Orthodox Church. So getting to the Declaration is the only way we're going to start getting good advisors, which help me start putting back together my nation. I'm going to go ahead and research some of these companies that we're currently missing. Logistics company comes to mind, and maybe also the maintenance company. We're going to end up needing all of those at some point. And at 1938, we're kind of in that awkward spot where there's not a ton that I need to research. So we'll just go for that for the moment. Excuse me. We're up to 1.8 thousand manpower. That's pretty good. We are going to need to consider at some point some upgrades to some supply networks. Specifically, I'm thinking that a supply network, let's say a hub right here could be good. We're going to need one over here as well. We've already got one there. So the thing is, if we're going to be reinforcing behind the river, which is the only way we have a chance at standing against the Axis, I'm looking at these supply hubs and seeing that they're going to get captured by the Germans, and I'm going to get stuck at very crucial river choke points. So at least one here and one here is absolutely required. I think we'll probably want one over here as well. Probably. And then we've already got hubs over here, so I think we're fine. This is dangerous. If we lose this, we'd lose a lot of ground here, maybe. We also risk having some serious problems with our railroads. We may need to do some actual upgrades to our railroads at some point soon, because getting plenty of supply is going to be tricky, especially since the Germans are almost certainly going to end up having air superiority, with which they will bomb the frick out of me. So, better railroads would certainly be nice, but we'll only do as much as we can. I'm not going to spend the army experience on going for the doctrines yet. Excuse me, yet, because we still have, I think, some cost problems. Actually, no. No, it's down to costing 95. It looks like we actually did manage to get rid of something. One of the focuses that was preventing me from getting good doctrines at a premium apparently is gone now. Okay. The alternative, of course, to going for superior firepower would be to go for something like Grand Battle Plan for that max entrenchment of +10. That's a lot of entrenchment. Like, that is a lot of entrenchment. That actually would be pretty effective at holding back the Germans. But it's only good for defense, at least for now. I would ideally prefer to be in a situation where I can press the attack against the Germans. But superior firepower really requires that you start getting your industry back on track, which is what I'm trying desperately to do right now. And we're starting to get somewhere with these factories. We are getting somewhere. It's not bad. There's the glory of the motherland, so we have the extra construction speed. Now we're going to go for reopen Novodevichi, which is going to give me some political power to get some additional advisors and so on. We got the research speed bonus. Could go for radar. Don't think I will. Let's go ahead and get the extra resource gain efficiency. Just double up on this. Because the more resources that I have with my export focus economy, the more I might be able to send out to the rest of the world and say, hey, buy Russian. Please give me civilian factories. I pray. Gib. So much need. It's not even funny. Yeah, that's the idea anyway. All right, so Italy just ate Greece. Well, that sucks for me, because now the Italians are going to have an extra border to work with me, and the Greeks won't join the Allies. Would have been really nice if that had happened, but, oh well. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about any of that, to be honest. That feels kind of bad, man. Can we train any of these units up? Do any of you guys need to go ahead and do some training and get your levels up? Yeah, let's just start farming out a little bit of extra army experience doing that. The army exercises doesn't amount to very much. An advisor is way more effective, but I mean, we'll take what we can get at this point. Could get an industrial concern guy, and I think I will. That will speed up the excavation techs as well as a lot of the industrial techs like construction that I'm going to need. And it's going to be a little bit before I can get any advisors anyway. So we're going to go for the synod, or synod, or whatever it's called. I don't know. But whatever that is, it replaces opiate of the masses with the catacomb church. I don't know what that means exactly. I must have... Oh, there it is. Oh, it's this one. Okay, replaces it with a new thing called the Catacomb Church, which basically is the same thing, but also gets me political power. Regardless, that's good. What? Lithuania declared war on Poland? What? Okay, I did turn this on to historical, right? Dear God, I'm so confused. All right. Well, this is fun. Let's see, unyielding defender. Ooh, that could be helpful. Yeah, I like the idea of doing that on... Oh, wait, no, this is the general. Oh, right, hang on. We'll go for charismatic on you. And then for you, yeah, unyielding defender, and we'll end up going for defensive doctrine later if we can. And you, I guess, defensive doctrine will be fine. I'm just trying to get a few upgrades here and there. Offensive doctrine, sure. I need to figure out what the heck I'm going to do with all my cavalry. Because they were great against the USSR before the USSR had the ability to motorize a massive army. Against the Germans, cavalry gonna go poof. It ain't gonna be enough. I know that for a factoid, so yeah. Something I'm really concerned about is getting enough support equipment to actually get the entrenchment that I know I'm going to need. We've almost finished repairing all of our factories. This is kind of the best we can do at the moment. And yeah, I'm getting a lot of artillery, but that's because in lieu of having a lot of entrenchment, I still want to use a lot of artillery and create those generalist divisions that will give the Germans massive casualties. It is August of 1938. I guess we'll go ahead and get maintenance companies going for us. I think that'll be fine. Then we're going to go for the declaration. By the time that's done, we should have enough political power to pick up our first advisor. So that's what we're going for there. By the way, communism has been eradicated amongst the people at this point. Gone. Nope. No one communist anymore. No one even wants to remember what communism was from the USSR. That is long gone, boyos. Long gone, and I am happy to see it. So yeah, that's fun. I really want to know why I can't get a theorist. We have no options for a theorist. Like, literally, not a single military, army theorist is available to me because I can't get this guy for reasons that don't make sense. Maybe he was purged. It can't, if so, there's another bug, because he's right here. He's right here, guys. I assume that I don't need to make him a general or something in order to make him into an advisor. No. I really want that. A 10% doctrine cost reduction would be amazing right now, but not much I can do. Not much I can do at the moment. How are the Germans doing, by the way? They've got the Sudetenland, they've got the Anschluss. Pretty soon they're going to deal with Poland, who, by the way, is eating Lithuania right now. Bye. There's the declaration done. So the next question is, do we continue down rebuilding the Savior Cathedral to get some construction speed as well as base stability, which is really good. Then go for this, which is another consumer goods reduction. Then reconvene the Zemsky Sobor, which will get me the Romanov Spirit, which is really good. Or do we start focusing on things like heavy industry and start getting those extra civilian factories? And at the end of the day, I guess we will do that. But I need to go down the industrial path, or we're not going to have a chance to get any of this before the war. Now, as far as an advisor, we have new options. That's pretty nice. Political power gain's pretty nice. Stability. Ooh. A lot of these are good, actually. I'm going to get the political power gain because the sooner you pick him up, the more political power you'll have to continue reforming the government. But there we go. Bulgaria approaches the German Reich. Yeah, you better go fascists, Bulgaria. You haven't so far. You're still non-aligned. But you very much better go fascist. Either that or submit and become my puppet. Because if you go with the Allies, I swear to God, I'll end up having to fight the Allies anyway after this whole Turkey maneuver, and I'll get very angry. Very cross, I'll tell you right now. Very cross indeed. Let's go ahead and get upgrades for radar. That actually does give improvements to radio, which will end up being very nice once I start getting some tanks. Not to mention, I do think that radar is going to be crucial in order to discover and shoot down and intercept German fighters before it's too late. We're probably not going to have time to make any more civilian factories than this, so I think the next thing to do is start prepping up lots of military factories wherever we have reasonable infrastructure. There's a few places with reasonable infrastructure. Sure, we'll do all that. That's going to be a lot of factories to construct. It's going to take me a while. It's one more reason that getting something like war economy would have been very, very nice for me. But alas and alack, oh well. And here come the civilian industries. Excellent. That's going to lead to infrastructure efforts, I guess. And then we want to abolish the 5-year plan. That does increase the cost. Well, it gives me an advisor who makes trains more expensive, but lets me build railways and supply hubs faster. I mean, I do like the idea of doing that. I just don't like the idea of spending 150 political power to pull it off. We could get a Chief of Air Force guy, by the way, but no, I have to go for consumer goods reduction and factory output. That's just too strong. That's way too strong to pass up on, man. I need every little bit of help I can get. You can see, by the way, our logistics fulfillment is not looking great so far. We are slowly building up the trucks needed just to actually send out the supplies. I really like that this button exists. It makes it a lot easier to know what I have to do still. And then as far as our infantry, I mean, I really need to do this. We don't have enough support equipment, but I'm going to go ahead and just pop this button. There's some excavation tech. Please buy Russian goods. Please, 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 please buy Russian goods. Anything else? We're already working on maintenance, blah, 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 blah. I think we just go ahead and start working on construction tech a little bit early. And probably everything industrial-based. I just need to get more value out of each of these factories at this point. My production efficiency growth is garbage, and that's partly because of the 5-year plan. Which, getting rid of that would be nice. It would definitely get my production efficiency up. For some reason, with the USSR and 5-year plans, like, they just really don't like changing things. I don't know. It's just weird. Anyway, more civilian factories for me. Quite a few more civilian factories, actually. I think it's going to amount to being like 4 more, right? No, it's still only 2 more. I get extra building slots too. Weird. Anyway, yeah, we want to work down some of that. Eventually, this will lead to things like the research plans and so on. We need a lot of stuff. We need a lot of stuff. It's not even funny how much we need. But whatever, I'm doing the best that I can with what I've got at the moment. This is the part of the game where I don't really, like, I've gotten up to this point a couple of times in some test games. From here on out, it's a little harder for me to tell what we're supposed to do. I do think there is wisdom in building a couple of factories in what you know are going to be the most vulnerable points along the Stalin line, even though he doesn't exist anymore. So these points right here where they have bridges across the river, around Kiev will be important. I think we'll be fine holding this, but we'll need forts there, and we're definitely going to need forts around here, especially here. And yeah, that's just, I don't know about that. It's just, I feel like getting forts there helps. It won't be super important because obviously the more they're able to attack from multiple directions, the less impactful the fort benefit is. And also, they're going to bomb the snot out of me, but nonetheless, we'll try getting a couple because it might give me some opportunity to survive. One thing we could do is literally send tanks on top of our infantry, have a tank division in each of these locations just to provide some local armor. Maybe that helps, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. It's just a thing we might try for. All these cavalry are going to have to get swapped out for infantry. They have to. But I have nowhere near the support equipment, man. Nowhere near. I am getting a lot closer on my infantry equipment. That's the good thing. I'm starting to produce guns. And once I start producing guns, I'll be able to start producing new troops, and I need more. Something I'd love to do is take these guys, right, and say, all right, we'll leave the 18 defense for now. We might build this up further later, but for now, we'll leave this as is. Let's duplicate this. And this is going to start working toward becoming those 27 widths. It's going to take me a while, but we're going to say infantry plus artillery, generalist division, something like this will be fine. We'll update you. I did duplicate, right? Yes, okay. Just making sure I didn't accidentally just change this up. Not that it would matter too much if I did. And then we're going to go ahead and start working in some artillery. And I'll start gradually swapping some units into that. As long as I have the artillery to do it, let's start working our way up to 27 width. Since that's supposed to be the best. Although I will say, I'm not convinced that's true just because planes are what they are. But whatever, we'll try for it. Decimetric radar is done, good. Let's go ahead and start working on things like just more factory output from dispersed industry. We can get another advisor. I'm gonna go ahead and get that consumer goods reduction guy so that we can have even more factories all working for us. We're now working on all those supply hubs, and I'm gonna go ahead and finish those out first because those are absolutely critical in order to win against the Germans. If we don't have those, we're doomed. Beyond that, I think we just go for even more factory cap. Yeah, just straight up industrial research. 1939 is usually the most important point for research in the game, in my opinion. Because that's when most of the good stuff starts really becoming available. There goes the 5-year plan. We can go for national industrialization. The effective plan is, I hate that consumer goods increase, but it does let us start getting more efficiency growth. Also an industrial concern cost. Oh, I wish I had known that before I picked that up. I didn't even notice that. But if we work down this, we can start working down things like either shifting to armaments production, or reorganizing the Ministry of Industry, and then industrial modernization. All of that's pretty darn good. Ooh. Ooh, I like that too. A lot of good options here. A lot of really good options. Factory output plus 5% here too. Wow. Yeah, we got some options to just straight out increase the factory output by a huge amount. I'm going to hold off on this for a moment. What about going for foreign experts? This would let me get things like some extra infrastructure, railway, military. Yes. Let's pick this up first. I do like the foreign experts because you still can get some other nation like Germany, Japan, or somebody to give you something. If you can improve relations with them sufficiently. Not to mention, it just gives straight out some pretty decent bonuses. Anything that lets me build up the factories faster is the best right now, followed by improving the value of each of those factories. All of that is going to end up being very useful to me. We're starting now work on these military factories. It's March 1939. That's about what I was expecting. We managed to get up to 84% stability. Okay, before that special thing ended. If we go for something like the Savior Cathedral and then reformalize the role of the Patriarchate, we'll be able to get even more stability, plus some consumer goods reduction. I do want all of that. But I have to get these industrial focuses, I think. I don't have a choice. I have to go for it. Is anyone actually training? Yeah, we have a few units still training. I'm not sure where they are because they're not showing up here, but we do have some units still training. All right, fine, fine. Doctrines available. Yes, I know. What does this do right now? Training level. You know, we can make use of this first, pop out some new units, and then swap over to this and get the most benefit out of it. That'd be kind of okay. Kind of? Maybe a little bit? Meh. All right, let's go ahead and just make you guys the full-out artillery divisions. There we go. 27 combat width. Pretty decent soft attack. Pretty good defense. Not much in the way of breakthrough. But that's fine. They're not really for offensive purposes. Take this cavalry, for example. Swap them outsies. We have enough artillery to do this. We don't have the support equipment or infantry equipment, but for now, we're going to go ahead and do that. Now, these guys, I don't know what they are. They're cavalry, motorized artillery, and light tanks. Huh? What a weird template you are. Okay, I don't think we want to keep these. I think we'll end up getting rid of them. This is going to get me some of my... This is going to gain me some light tanks and trucks back. And support equipment. Because they had recon before, that's why. Ah, right, okay, okay. Hey, yeah. I mean, this gets some of my tanks back so we can start actually, like, filling out my units. Okay. Yeah, no, I think that's probably fine, question mark. Mountaineers, I'm not sure we're going to keep either. Because we no longer need these to survive against the Germans. They've got engineers and stuff already. There are no mountains along the Stalin line, and we're probably, hopefully not going to need the Mountaineers to defend against in Turkey, so... Yeah, I think we probably will end up getting rid of all of my Mountaineers as well. Which I guess we can go ahead and do now and just let them start training again. Again, not enough support equipment. I only need one more, though. And we'll gain a bunch of equipment back. At the cost of some artillery. That's fine. Yeah, I think we'll go ahead and start doing some of this. We gain most of our equipment back, and it's in a template that I think is going to end up being more useful to me at this stage. Let's just start redistributing some of my equipment in a way that makes sense. I know we need to end up this video here, but yeah, there's a lot that I need to do. Like a lot. And the lack of support equipment is the thing that's going to probably end up crushing me here. But we're working on it. There's the foreign experts, so we've boosted that up. I don't think we're going to go for these. I think we probably should just go ahead and go for the national industrialization. Or should we? You know what? I'll put a pin in this and think about it a bit more. There's so much I need to do. I have to go for the military reorganization and experts in camouflage. That max entrenchment and reduction against close air support is massive. I need to go for these options, and I need to start getting the Tsar, because there's a lot of good stuff you get from the Tsar. Alright, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If so, I would ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.